Hello everybody, welcome to an FBG Life with Sarah and Jonathan.
Hello.
Off on a little evening excursion. We are in Lincolnshire. You can see how flat Lincolnshire is. Very flat, but we are going to the Lincoln Aviation Heritage Centre for a, what day is it? Wednesday night bike night. So we haven't been before. There is another one later on in the summer, but we thought, we'll finish work early. Benefits of working for yourself. We thought, we're on top of things. We could leave. It's fine. And I'm going to stick my neck out a little bit here because I think the Aviation Centre has something way more cool than any bike that could possibly ever be there. And probably all the bikes put together, to be fair. Because they have got a working, some bikes, a working World War II Lancaster bomber. And I don't think it gets any cooler than that. So the Aviation Centre is based at an old wartime airfield, and we've just been discussing on the way the history of it. And we make really bad students because we've been there several times. And do we know what the history of it is?
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
It goes in one ear and out the other, I'm afraid. I really ought to remember.
We've forgotten. So what we will do is we'll make sure we check when we get there what the history of it is, because it's a really amazing place. And we will tell you about that on the way back. And we'll educate ourselves and everybody else.
It is a wartime airfield, but I can't recall who was there. Whether it was the Americans or the RAF, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll double check on that and make sure we know what we're talking about. Look at these pretty houses. It's beautiful. So it's now an aviation centre, and they have this Lancaster bomber, which they are trying to return to flight. At the moment, it's not got its full airworthiness qualifications. Is that the right word?
Certification, maybe?
Yeah, certification's probably a better word. It needs more technical, modern stuff on it to be able to fly these days, and I think it is literally I think it's actually airworthy. I think it's just, it needs, it's either communications or navigation systems or something like that.
Yeah.
So what they do with it is they do take it up and down the runway, they fire the engines up and they taxi it around on the runway, and you can pay for a little trip in it, and they'll show you all over the inside, and you can go in this amazing aircraft. And they've also got, that's not the only one they've got a Mosquito as well, which is also taxis. I don't think that flies either.
No, it doesn't fly, no.
And they've just acquired another airplane, and we're going to make a guess at what we think it is, because we can't quite remember that either.
I think it's a B-25 Mitchell, I think.
So we'll double check that as well. So they've got all three aircraft there, and they're trying to make them all airworthy again. So there's not loads of aircraft. It's not an aircraft museum, but they do have these incredible aircraft that they can get running and they can take up and down the runway, which is quite amazing. And then a little museum inside the hangar as well, and there's some other exhibits you can go and see too, and hopefully lots of bikes tonight and some refreshments we've been promised.
Yay!
Yeah, because it's dinner time. We haven't had any dinner. So we're going to see what all the fun is about. Go and have a look at this amazing aircraft, because it is really stunning.
And also look at loads of bikes.
Yeah, we might look at some bikes too. Well, we're there. So we invite you to come with us and experience bike night at Lincoln Aviation Heritage Centre.
Yay!
John is enthusiastic.
I am enthusiastic. £5 per bike.
I shall get my hand in my pocket and give him a £5. Hello, one of them. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Cool. Bye.
Keep your eyes on the road, John.
Yeah, you can look at the bikes when we get off. God, I don't know what time you have to come to get in there, I'm sure.
Oh, look at this.
There she blows. Oh, look at that, Johnny. Awesome. Look at the plane.
There you go, darling. Look
Okay.
at that.
Oh, there she is. Wave. Okay, so you ready, Johnny? Go and see some bikes. Johnny looks slightly shell-shocked.
Wow.
How many bikes do you reckon are here, Johnny?
It's multiple thousands, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's so good about here is that there are older bikes, and not just necessarily mean vintage bikes, but bikes that I remember when I was younger that you just don't see on the roads anymore. So I mean, I thought the bike park at Silverstone for MotoGP is impressive, but they're almost all modern bikes, and there are so many bikes here that I haven't seen for donkey's years. There's look at that XJ900 there. I mean, when was the last time you saw one of those on the road? You just don't see them.
And they're still coming in, folks, and this is about a fifth of it. Right, Johnny.
Hello, Siri.
How do we get out of here?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's like thousands and thousands of bikes.
Oh, this is awesome.
Somehow got to get out. One little last look at the Lanc. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? Gold wing. Gonna have a gold wing. Have a gold one. If Johnny's in awe or if he's looking for a way out, I'm not sure.
Oh, just look at it.
Let's get a shot of Johnny with the Lanc. Johnny! Right, so you plot a route home.
Yeah.
Because what we want to do is get as far as we can before the sun's down. Get ready on the horn just in case. Oh look, she has to hold on. This is madness.
This is sensational, isn't it?
Oh look, it's got a Hayabusa.
Yeah, he has. It's funny, that bike coming on the left-hand side, the blue one.
Yeah, trophy.
That was one that I thought we could have had.
Yeah.
Well, I think it might be a bit too big.
I just look at him and look at the back seat now.
No. Well, that was when we sat on at the bike show.
I know.
And with the panniers on, you couldn't get your feet comfortably on the pegs. So it's funny, isn't it? I thought that was too big. I thought that potentially was too big.
Yeah.
It was a whole 600cc less than this, and about half a ton less than this.
In size at the front, though, it's sort of the same size, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the back bit.
Yeah.
You're clear.
Yay!
Next big event, bike night.
Well, what did you think of that, Sari?
Well, I thought that was excellent.
You did you?
And I'm glad we made the effort because we were nearly our usual lazy self.
Yes.
Didn't bother.
Yeah. Well, we've been busy at work, and I know you suggested doing this ages ago, and we've had such a hectic sort of week or so. It slipped from my mind, and I'd kind of forgotten about it this morning even. And when you said let's do it, well, okay, yes, let's make a point of doing it, and I'm really glad we did.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the number of bikes. I was not imagining anywhere near that.
No, I wasn't.
What do you reckon, 3,000 or 4,000?
Oh, that had to be, didn't there? Would you go again?
Yep, there's another one in August.
Oh, I know.
But the Lancaster just tops everything, doesn't it?
It's magnificent, isn't it?
Absolutely amazing piece of machinery, and really stunning to see that.
Yeah. And something about seeing an aircraft like that up and running, that it makes me think more of the individuals back in 39 to 45 than a static one in a museum ever would.
Well, yeah, and you just get a little idea of what the sound would be like, don't you? And there's only one of them. Imagine like a whole squadron of them taking off. And
I may be doing modern generations, myself included, a disservice, but I kind of stood there looking at that and thinking that they were a better generation than we are. I don't know. It's
they were a brave generation.
They were astonishing. I think they were remarkable, the greatest generation.
Well, I've got. I read a story about it as well. I can tell you about the airfield now.
Okay, then. Tell me about the airfield, Sari.
A bit of homework. It wasn't actually open for that long, so it was open in 1943. It housed 2 RAF Lancaster squadrons, 57 RAF 57 Squadron and 630 Squadron, who both flew Lancasters there, and it only was open for about 2 years, so only the time of the war. When the war finished, the airfield closed down and became operations for smaller units. But there was a quite terrible story about them loading some bombs on one of the Lancaster from 57 Squadron, and they dropped one of the bombs on the runway unintentionally, and the fuse was already in it, and it went off. The bomb went off, and it set look at all the bikes in the pub. and the bomb went off and it set all the rest of the ammunition off on the aircraft, and 3 people were killed and lots of people were injured, and it wrote off 6 other Lancaster bombers.
Crikey.
And half of a hangar. So just, you know, just to show the danger that these people were in all the time, even when they weren't flying. You know, it was just a dangerous job, and they were killed without even getting into the air. And there's lots of information in the hangar in the museum. There's so much in there to take in. You need a good few visits just to visit that bit, really.
And it was a bit too crowded today, wasn't it, to be able to take your time and take it all in.
But there's quite sobering things in there. There's aircraft that have been rescued, and the was it a Spitfire with the man who the picture of the man who had died in the Spitfire, and they've pulled the Spitfire out and it's in the museum, and it really makes you think. It's quite
very sobering, isn't it?
It is. And it's good to remember these people and remember what they did for our freedom, and for us to be able to go there on a motorbike now and enjoy an evening out was thanks to them. And lots of lovely memorials as well around the whole site. Lots of trees been planted, and flowers and roses, and remembering all the people who lost their lives, some who were never found again. So I enjoyed seeing that as well. And I think bikers are really interesting.
Yes.
There was every type of person there and every type of bike.
All ages and sizes and both sexes.
Well, there's the windmill. I was going to get a shot of that on the way back. Yeah, anybody who has an interest in it from whatever angle you come at.
Yeah.
Who were like, oh, do you think that Benny Goldwings are?
Couldn't move for bloody gold wings.
Yeah, common as muck, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And then some weird thing. Oh, what was it called?
Revoco. I don't know.
We'll put the name up on the screen. The weirdest looking thing I've ever seen, but a nice chat to the guy who owned it, who explained it, why you might ride one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's available to everybody. He wasn't a motorbike rider, but this was a way that enabled him to join in and to be part of the community. So, you know, it's fantastic. You do it any way you want to do it, and everybody can join in. And I kind of got the idea we might be able to, you know, park up with some bikes and chat to some people, but I've never seen so many bikes in one place, so we didn't really get a chance to do that, but that's okay. We had a really good time. Johnny didn't win a ride in the Lancaster though.
Oh well, it's five quid down the drain.
Oh no. Well, the other good thing about that place is every time you spend money like that, it goes towards the restoration of the planes. So the entrance fee, it was £5 a night, a bike to get in. So they've made a happy mint out of that.
I mean, we are going 60. I don't know.
That is the speed limit, by the way, if anybody's not sure. Yeah, but all the money, all the raffle tickets and the entrance fee all goes into the restoration of the planes, so don't begrudge them a penny of that, because I think they're doing an amazing job.
I would hope that you, viewing this, got even a tenth of the sensations that we got out of it. Because it was a really good night, and this is our first time there, and clearly it's not new to everyone. Thousands of bikers who are familiar with the event, but if you happen to be anywhere in the East Midlands and you haven't been to the bike night there, 100% recommend it.
I would say get there quite early. We arrived at 5:45.
About that, yeah.
And we got pretty near to the parked up by the Lancaster.
On hard standing as well.
Yeah, on hard standing. And they were coming in for a good nearly 2 hours after
2 hours later, they were still streaming in and having to park on the grass, which is fine. In the summer, the ground is pretty hard, but.
So get there nice and early, and you might get a good park right next to the Lancaster. There's lots to see, isn't there? We could have stayed a bit longer, really. But yeah, we've got an hour and a half to get home, and the sun is setting. I don't particularly like riding in the dark. We have ridden in the dark. We've got a video about what that's like, riding up the old ring in the dark. So do check that one out if you haven't seen it. But we should be most of the way home. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh dear. I'm all for people having fun, but when you get a bit close to cars coming in our direction, it's not fair on the car driver, is it?
No, it's not. Right, so we're back in Coningsby. So this is where the RAF Battle of Britain Memorial Flight is stationed, in RAF Coningsby. A good place to live if you want to see the planes. Every time they take off for a display, they're going to go right over your house. So, right, they're all lost. So having blasted, having blasted past us, they've now got to pull over and have a little conflab about where they're where they're going. Right, there's RAF Coningsby down there, Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Down there. Don't actually know if you can go around that. That is the biggest clock I've ever seen on the church. Yeah, I don't know if you can go around and see the aeroplanes.
I think you can. Yeah, I think you can.
Right, so I think that's it, folks. We've had a fantastic time at Lincolnshire Aviation Centre Bike Night. There's another one in 2 months' time.
We might go to that one.
We might go again, yes.
Yeah. Maybe our viewers can tell us, should we go or should we stay at home? Would you like to see another video of a bike night at the Lincoln Aviation Centre?
So thanks everybody for coming along on this night out with us. We hope you've enjoyed it and seen that beautiful Lancaster and all of those amazing bikes and the lovely English countryside. We've got an hour to get home.
Yep.
So we shall settle in for the ride back. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, everybody. And Jonathan and I are signing out. We'll see you next time.